Last time we talked, you were kind of on the fence. You hadn't really gone one side or the other. Have you picked a horse in the
Not
race?
yet. I still have my absentee ballot. I'm going to go to the debate tomorrow and listen to what Senator Clinton and Senator Obama have to say, and then I'll make up my mind.
What's holding you back? What are you waiting to hear?
Well, I'm waiting to hear a call to service. As we talked about on my last visit, we talked about how important we think the call to service is, and how really when it comes to politics, are you going to do something, or are you going to be something? And I think that, like all Americans, I volunteer and I appreciate the value of community, but I'm looking for a president who will call me to service and make sure that my service is effective. And when it comes to our presidential candidates, I don't think we can go wrong with either one, but I want to make sure that the person I vote for president shares my value in the inspirational nature of the presidency, the value that I place in a president's ability to usher forth a generation of service, because it's going to take non-political and political solutions combined to solve our problems.
Now, on the face of that, it would seem like, if you talk about the person who's been the most inspirational and has called for the most sacrifice, so far it seems to be Senator Obama.
Well, his rhetoric is certainly right attuned with my thinking, and I think that the way that Senator Obama calls people to service and calls people to be part of something larger than themselves is truly wonderful and uplifting.
And that obviously hit a chord with Caroline Kennedy, who hasn't really been terribly active in presidential politics.
Absolutely not. She really took a risk this week, and just as before we dissect more of the race, let's just pause for a moment and think about how happy she looked, and this little girl that we saw as a little girl and as a very stoic individual all of her life. She actually seemed to be beaming and glowing that she was entering the political arena in a political way as opposed to in a service-oriented way for the first time. And that takes a tremendous amount of courage, because it is tough out there. If you're going to have your maiden voyage in politics occur at the time of the blogs and the vitriol and all the intensity of a presidential primary race, it really was quite a moment, and she seemed very, very excited to do that. And what Caroline Kennedy said about Senator Obama's call to service matching her father's calling people to service is very inspiring, and the fact that her kid said, "Mom, you have to do this," was pretty special. With Senator Clinton, I think one of the greatest legacies of the Clinton administration, one of the greatest tragedies when the Bush administration took over, domestically speaking, wasn't just the soiled surplus that was plunged into deficit and war, but AmeriCorps. Senior Corps. The way that the President Bill Clinton had indeed picking up on actually some of the themes from President Kennedy, his childhood hero, had really established in place a public-private partnership where people could serve in low-income communities, could give back to our country domestically and make it better. And it was one of the first programs that the Republican Congress decided to decimate the minute that President Clinton was out of office. So I do think that from a programmatic standpoint, to the extent that she shares in her husband's legacy, Senator Clinton has the same spirit of service and certainly has called for a renewal of AmeriCorps and other related programs. So in fairness to both candidates, you have an inspirational call to service from Senator Obama and experience with both Obama and Clinton in actual day-to-day work organizing to get the job done. So I think that either way, the Democratic voters and the independents and frustrated Republicans who want to vote with us can't go wrong.